Listen throughout the day for Southern Illinois local music.
This is Chuck Williamson.
One love.
Hey, this is Josh, the Cadillac Jones Band.
This is my kind of Friday night. Turn up the radio.
We're top and bottom.
It's all about us.
Hey y'all, this is Eli Teller.
Love that country girl touch.
Want to get your local and original music heard on Monster Radio? Just go to WGGH.net for more info.
How would you like to save money on your utility bills every month? All you need to do is make a simple free phone call and you can start saving up to 25% or more on your energy bills. Energy deregulation is now available where you live, and competition means lower prices to you. By making one simple phone call, we can show you how to lower your electric or gas bills instantly. Call the Energy Hotline today and learn how easy it is to switch your utility bills and save money. Plus, you can also get your gas or electric bills for free by referring some friends. To learn how you can save money on your gas or electric bills, or even get them for free, please call right now for a completely free energy savings consultation. 800-428-9741. 800-428-9741. 800-428-9741. That's 800-428-9741.
Hi, it's Jason Benetti for ready.illinois.gov with a message about emergency planning for the thousands of Illinois citizens with functional needs. Every one of us needs a disaster plan for ourselves, our families, even our pets, but the plan in the emergency disaster kit may look a lot different for those with functional needs. At ready.illinois.gov, you'll find tips for designing an emergency disaster plan and building an actual emergency disaster kit. Whether you or someone you know is affected by cognitive, mobility, or visual disabilities, has mental health or substance abuse issues, is deaf and or has substantial hearing loss, ready.illinois.gov has the answers. There's even guidance for those who rely on life support systems and for persons who use service animals. And yes, ready.illinois.gov has great tips for seniors too. Even tips for pet owners. If you or someone you know has functional needs, or for that matter, you have yet to make your own disaster planner kit, visit ready.illinois.gov. That's ready.illinois.gov.
Sponsored by the Illinois Emergency Management Agency.
Hi, it's me, Chris Hahn. Join me Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., SI Car News. We'll talk about car shows. We'll have interviews with, anybody. I don't care who it is. And check out SI Car News radio show on Facebook for news, events, and a lot of other stuff. Join me for SI Car News Saturday mornings, 9 a.m. on Monster Radio 98.5 FM and AM 1150 and sicarnews.com.
AM 1150 WGGH.
From Murfreesboro, Murphy 500 with gasoline. Monster Radio.
WGGH.
Some back roads tonight, baby, 'cause you know it drive me crazy, and I sure ain't in a rush to get you home. We'll drink this whiskey from the bottle and forget about tomorrow. We can fall in love underneath this July moon, 'cause I just don't want you to be asking what might have happened if you hadn't gone home so soon. Oh, and baby, let me show you what it's like to hold you, and I know that you want me to. Let's get a little drunk, get a little wild, throw gasoline on this fire, moving close, let me hold you tonight. Take the long way down the back road, maybe get lost, never go home. If you want, we can get out of town. Still got whiskey and I'm tipsy, baby, you can't go home right now. Well, let's park on the edge of town, there ain't no one else around. Roll these windows up and polish off this fit. Whoa, can have a little fun too. Take this four-wheel drive and raise a little Cain. 'Cause I just don't want you to be asking what might have happened if you hadn't gone on so soon. Oh, and baby, let me show you what it's like to hold you, and I know that you want me to. Let's get a little drunk, get a little wild, throw gasoline on this fire. Moving close, let me hold you tonight. Take the long way down a back road, maybe get lost, never go home. If you want, we can get out of town. Still got whiskey and I'm tipsy. Baby, you can't go home right now. 'Cause I just don't want you to be asking what might have happened if you hadn't gone on so soon. Let's get a little drunk, get a little wild, throw gasoline on this fire. Moving close, let me hold you tonight. Take the long way down a back road, maybe get lost, never go home. If you want, we can get out of town. Still got whiskey and I'm tipsy. Baby, you can't go home right now. You can't go home right now.
WGGH supports local artists.
Hey guys, this is Chuck Williamson, and you're listening to my song, One Love, on Monster Radio, WGGH.
One name captures my heart and saved my life. One act of amazing grace turned dark to light. One word from your lips heals my disease. One touch from your hand is all I need. One love can break down the walls, can open the gates and set us free. One love hung all of my sin and all of my shame on a tree. One love made it possible for you and I to change the world. One love. One prayer, if we just believe, is all it takes. One life is all that I have, but I give it all away. One love can break down the walls, can open the gates and set us free. One love hung all of my one love. One love can break down the walls, can open the gates and set us free. One love for all of my sin and all of my shame on a tree. Whoa, one love can break down the walls, can open the gates and set us free. One love for all of my sin and all of my shame on a tree. One love made it possible for you and I to change the world. One love made it possible for you and I to change the world. One love. One love.
WGGH supports local artists.
Hey y'all, this is Eli Teller, and you're listening to my song Country Girl Touch right here on Monster Radio, WGGH.
Well, I just sat down with an ice cold beer at the end of a long, hard day. I was covered in dirt in my old t-shirt when I saw her walk my way. I said, excuse me, ma'am, I'm not much of a sight, but you're free to have a seat. Then she pulled up a chair. It was quite a surprise when she started talking to me. Well, we talked for hours and the night went on. She asked me, what do I do? I said, I work out on a great big farm, girl, tell me, how about you? Then a couple turned into a couple more. Yeah, we had a few. I paid for the drinks, headed toward the door, and the next thing that I knew, she was holding the keys in the driver's seat of my brand new pickup truck. Said, I'm gonna take you home with me. I'm gonna clean you up. Gonna get you out of them dirty clothes, out of them muddy boots. I'm gonna lay you down on a big old couch. Next move is up to you. And boy, take me like them horses. I'm ready for a wild rush. You know a country boy ain't much without a country girl touch. I bet we were spinning gravel all the way to that girl's house. It was quite a ride doing 85, ain't a single cop in town. She was singing every word the working man cranked on the radio. She winked at me, said, who needs this song when I get to take one home? I said, girl, I gotta tell you in all honesty, I never dreamed a girl like you would ever say to me. Gonna get you out of them dirty clothes, out of them muddy boots. I'm gonna lay you down on a big old couch. Next move is up to you. And boy, take me like them horses. I'm ready for a wild rush. You know a country boy ain't much without Girl Touch.
Good Saturday morning, Brian Cheney with you from our studios. Hope you're enjoying Southern Illinois local music. Coming up the next 3 hours, we have great local talk programming for you. Starting at 8:06, it'll be Dateline Mary and the radio program. Tim Petrovich will begin the first of a two-part series talking about all things Haiti. He will have a couple of board members from the nonprofit group Equipping Haiti to talk about all things Haiti. At 8:30, David Lawler's Hometown Heroes, people who give back to their community in Southern Illinois. At 9 o'clock, SI Car News with Chris Hahn. Chris will have a pair of tickets to give away this morning for tonight's St. Louis Cardinals game against the Chicago Cubs at Busch Stadium in St. Louis. More on that coming up on SI Car News. At 10 o'clock, Dare to Care with Dr. Elaine Jerkowski. And wrapping up our local talk lineup at 10:30, it'll be the 25th Hour Radio Show hosted by Rob Fairless. That's all coming up the rest of the morning on Monster Radio. Stay tuned. Southern Illinois local music comes back after this.
My mom's a breast cancer survivor. The United Breast Cancer Foundation saved her life, and they need your help so they can continue saving more women's lives. Help them by donating your car. They'll provide fast, free 24-hour pickup, and you receive a charitable tax deduction. They take cars, trucks, vans, and SUVs, running or not. Call 24 hours a day, 800-527-5157. Your donation could literally save women's lives. Call today, 800-527-5157. That's 800-527-5157.
Looking for future leaders we can trust and believe in? Look no further than the high school student athletes right here in Illinois. High school sports teach young people how to be effective leaders. It begins by making their grades and being on time for practice. It includes learning to listen, following directions, accepting responsibility, being a good role model. And it's about respect for officials, opponents, the rules, and each other. The result? It transcends sports. It gives us hope for the future. High school sports. There's so much more than just a game. This message presented by the Illinois High School Association and the Illinois Athletic Directors Association.
Monster Radio AM 1150 WGGH is proud to serve our community with Marion Wildcat Sports and high school sporting events from other smaller schools around the area that don't usually get radio promotion, like Johnston City, Goreville, and Crab Orchard. And we have local talk shows, as well as local news and weather information. And of course, we'll get your public service or non-charitable organization's message on the air absolutely free. Just call 993-8102 or go to WGGH.net for more info. We're proud to keep Southern Illinois connected.
1150 WGGH.
Hello everybody, Jermaine Bollinger here from Carbondale, Illinois. Check out my song, The One from Nomad on Monster Radio, WGGH.
What if each morning you were given one day to show the world there's one truth, one way to call to help the lost and broken runaways? What if each day that passes is one day clearer when your heart asks, is drawing nearer? Time has come to truly give yourself away. What if each day that's slipped away never get back, fall through the cracks? What if the only time
with If Love Is Blind.
Every time I see you, I thank God I have eyes. The sun comes up every day, but you're the reason I rise. Fantasy in the making, spark in my heart. I don't have to go to sleep for the dream start. Take my breath away, times I can't breathe. My life would end, but you ever leave. It seems believing, and I can't believe. 'Cause if love is blind, then why are you all I see? You're a woman in motion, my starlight at night, a true inspiration for the songs I write. With a spark in your eye, all the darkness is gone, and it's things like these can't put a price on. Take my breath away, times I can't breathe. My life would end, were you ever leave? It seems believing, I can't believe. 'Cause if love is blind,
Terry responding again, If Love Is Blind on Monster Radio. We want to apologize. We had some technical difficulties a little while ago getting our Southern Illinois local music show on the air. We had some issues with our computer, and it just decided to do whatever it wanted to do. But we do apologize. We appreciate those of you calling in with your concerns, but we are on the air right now, and that's going to wrap it up. Stay tuned. We got a lot of local programming coming up, starting with Dateline Marion, the radio show. In about 6 minutes, Tim Petrovich talks with folks from Equipping Haiti about their current trip going on right now down in Haiti. This is WGGH in Marion. It's 8 o'clock.
W253CR Marion, now at 98.5 FM, and the legendary
WGGH Marion.
Tens of thousands evacuated. Deadly shooting at a nursing home. I'm Christopher Cruz. Mandatory evacuation orders are in place this morning for almost 40,000 people in and around Redding, a town of 90,000 in Northern California. A raging wildfire has burned more than 48,000 acres and 500 structures and is threatening 5,000 more buildings. Correspondent Paul Verkaman is there this morning.
The fire that moves fast like this, it's not like a hurricane where there might be a 3-day buildup and someone's fairly certain that it's going to hit at such and such a time. It just came roaring out of the hillsides here. They believe it was caused by the mechanical failure of a vehicle, some going so far as to say perhaps a tire blowout on a mobile home causing some kind of spark.
Police in Robstown, Texas, near Corpus Christi, continue their investigation this morning into 2 separate but related deadly shootings. 2 men and a woman died at a nursing home. 2 men were found dead at a house in the town. Police say a man shot the 2 men at his house and a man and a woman at the nursing home before killing himself. Police hope data from Molly Tibbetts' fitness tracker holds clues to the whereabouts of the missing University of Iowa students.
Across Iowa, friends, family, and volunteers are trying to find Molly Tibbetts. The 20-year-old University of Iowa student disappeared last week. Tibbetts was last seen jogging along a rural highway near her boyfriend's house. She was dog-sitting for him on the day of the disappearance. On Thursday, police said there was no indication that her boyfriend was involved. Now they're working to identify a suspect.
Correspondent Andy Rose, former Fox News host Kimberly Guilfoyle, is reportedly facing allegations of misconduct at the network. The Huffington Post says Fox has been investigating claims of inappropriate behavior by Guilfoyle, including sexual misconduct. She's been dating Donald Trump Jr. and recently left Fox. I'm Christopher Cruz.
You're never going to get as much sleep as you want. That's why you need to make every hour of sleep you do get really count. Hi, I'm Scott Tannen, founder of Boll & Branch. Our sheets are handcrafted from pure, fair trade, 100% organic cotton. Hundreds of thousands of Americans, including 3 U.S. presidents, sleep better than ever on Boll & Branch sheets. If you order today, we'll give you $50 off your first set of sheets with promo code SLEEP, spelled B-O-L-L and branch.com. Promo code SLEEP.
Message and data rates may apply. What if there were a top-ranked business degree that gave you access to world-renowned faculty, leaders, and mentors, but on your schedule? The W.P. Carey School of Business at Arizona State University is now accepting high-quality applicants for its online MBA, Information Management, and Business Analytics Master's programs. Learn more about the W.P. Carey business degrees online. For more information, text RANK to 79645. That's RANK to 79645.
More young Americans seem to be turning away from traditional cigarettes, but they're taking up another habit.
A Gallup poll suggests that young people are much less likely to smoke in recent years, turning instead to the use of e-cigarettes or vaping. The poll says vaping is much more prevalent among younger Americans, and younger people are less likely to think of vaping as in any way risky. Although the vast majority of both young and old acknowledge that smoking traditional cigarettes can harm your health, the Gallup organization says significantly, over the past 2 decades, the trend for cigarette smoking among young people is way down, falling sharply to roughly half the number of older smokers. I'm Jan Johnson.
Theodore McCarrick, the former Archbishop of Washington, D.C., accused of sexual misconduct, has resigned from the College of Cardinals. Pope Francis accepted the resignation today. He's ordered McCarrick to conduct a life of prayer and penance. I'm Christopher Cruz.
Message and data rates may apply. Please do not text and drive.
Ever wonder why Europeans seem to speak so many languages? Maybe it's because they use Babbel, the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Babbel's award-winning technology gets you speaking right away, whether you're learning Spanish, French, or German. And best of all, you'll remember what you've learned.
I always thought I was bad at languages, but after using Babbel, I can tell you I was just taught the wrong way.
Using Babbel's 10 to 15-minute lessons, you can be speaking confidently in your new language within weeks.
I was amazed that I could start having real-life conversations right away. It was so fast. Now I'm speaking Spanish. Woohoo!
No wonder Babbel is the #1 selling language learning app in Europe. Try it for yourself and see why Babbel is the quick way to get conversational in a new language, like Spanish, French, or more. You can try Babbel for free. Download the app or text SPEAK to 484848. Text SPEAK to 484848 to try Babbel for free. That's SPEAK to 484848.
Southern Illinois weather.
Mainly cloudy skies expected today, with daytime highs approaching 84. Northerly winds around 5 miles per hour. Chance for scattered rain showers tonight, lows level off around 66, partly cloudy skies. Overcast tomorrow, chance for scattered thunderstorms, high temperatures reach up to 81. From the Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on Monster Radio AM 1150. Currently, it's 66.
The views and opinions of the hosts are not necessarily those of the ownership or management of this station. More information on program schedules are available at WGGH.net. This is Dateline Marion, the radio program, a public affairs presentation of Monster Radio WGGH and DatelineMarion.com. Now, Tim Petrovich.
Good morning and welcome to Dateline Marion, the radio program. And today, here on the program, my guests are members of the board of directors of Equipping Haiti. And this is in particular dear to me because I'm also on the board of directors. I won't talk about me a whole lot because I've got 2 other people here. But Equipping Haiti is a nonprofit organization based in Marion, Illinois that ministers to the people of Haiti. And well, right now, members of the team are on their second mission trip as a group to Haiti. And so we've obviously recorded this program before that team left. But with me, I've got Shane Shelley, who is on the board of directors, and I've got Katie Koo, who is the vice president and treasurer of the organization. First of all, to you, welcome to the program. Thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is, for each of you, and Katie, I'll start with you, why Haiti? What got you connected with Haiti and being involved in a ministry that works there?
Well, I will say that it wasn't my idea. My daughter Haley was too young to go on the church's mission trip at Third Baptist. The youth were going on a mission trip to Haiti, and she was too young to go alone. So she came to me and said, "Mom, the youth group leader will let me go to Haiti if someone will go with me. So if you would go with me, then I would be able to go." And I started to pray about it, and I felt like that was something that I could do for her, and it would be a growing experience for her. So the very first year, my son Josh and myself and Haley all traveled to Haiti, and it was something that I just fell in love with the people of Haiti. Met people the very first year that I just felt a connection with, and have made several trips back since then. So that's where it started. It started with a daughter begging and prodding, but God definitely led my heart and has kept me tied into Haiti.
Shane, how about you?
Well, coincidentally, I started with the same mission trip to Haiti, with the mission trip from Third Baptist. I really don't know what led me to go. I just felt like I needed to go. I wanted to go on an international mission trip and was offered that opportunity, so I felt like I should go. I didn't have my daughter old enough at that time to go, although she is going with us this year. But kind of the same sort of thing. You see the need, the great need, and it's always amazing to me at how close Haiti is to the United States.
There's no way Glenn would have ever done
it is.
Any?
How different everything. I mean, it's 180 degrees different than the United States. But yet it's so close to Florida, it's almost scary.
Now, I actually, the first time I went was on that same trip you're talking about, and we went 3 years in a row as part of Third Baptist Church, and then the church kind of changed its focus a little bit on how it wanted to minister, and it wanted to put some more emphasis on the community it's involved in, which is a great thing, clearly, but I felt like at the time that our ministry wasn't finished in Haiti. And so I had this idea that maybe we could put together some sort of an organization that could continue that ministry. And so I approached a few people about possibly serving on a board of directors, and the two of you were in those people. So what was it hard to convince either one of you, or I mean, tell me about becoming involved in the Equipping Haiti board?
Well, I don't feel like it was hard to convince me to be part of the board. It's no secret that I'm kind of organizing, logistics-minded, and like that sort of thing. So being in the planning stages and of a organization is kind of exciting to me, and having the feeling like I have the call to minister to Haiti, and some of the things that we were talking about doing, and our focus was really right up what I feel needs to be focused on.
It was a little bit harder for me personally. I have a lot of organizations that I'm involved with, and sometimes my time is very thin, so I had to think about it and pray about it for a long time before I felt like it was something that I wanted to do. I do feel the mission of Equipping Haiti is exactly what it should be. Our call is not to go and just put feet on the ground in Haiti and do things while we're in Haiti, but instead to help Haitians by equipping them to be able to help themselves. And that calling is so important to me. We feel very importantly that discipleship, coming alongside our Haitian friends that are Christians, encouraging them their life is so hard. And I know that I can say their life is so hard. I talk to them on a regular basis, but I really can't even imagine how hard it is to live it day to day. To encourage them to be active in their community, to witness to people in their community, to stay strong, to stay honest, to stay faithful to God in such a culture that's just inhabited by voodoo and evil, and where a culture where doing the wrong thing will get you places. It's a really hard life to live. So the focus of equipping Haiti to do exactly what the title says, to equip them to be better people, to follow Jesus, to better their own lives, that really speaks to my heart.
Now, talk about that a little bit, because I know one of the things you've struggled with is, and a lot of times when someone goes on a mission trip, they go and they talk about all the things they did. They did this, they did this, they did this. And those are great. And it's good to go and serve people. But you've actually talked to some of our friends, our common friends in Haiti, who say, to a certain extent, that actually is productive.
Right. And I've made a lot of friends since starting my first trip in Haiti. I've grown a lot and made a lot of Haitian friends and American friends. I've read several books and done a lot of research about how sometimes not-for-profit organizations, as much as they mean well, they can actually hurt the places that we go and we're trying to help by when we bring in a lot of things where we think we're helping. Sometimes that actually hurts their economy, because if we bring in tons of peanut butter or clothing items or things that they can produce for themselves, then we're actually taking away their ability to make and produce and sell for themselves items that builds their economy. So it takes away their jobs. It takes away their ability to sell things for themselves. So my thinking is always to go back to the Haitians and say, is this more helpful or is this hurtful? And I always have I have a couple of good friends that work with communities that are Haitian-born, that are leaders of nonprofit organizations that I like to go back and check with, as well as my Haitian friends that live there, and say, are we going to be more helpful to do this, or are we going to be hurtful to do this? So I think it's always good for us to check ourselves, and just because something feels good to our heart doesn't mean it's what we should do. We should always be thinking about the long-term effects of whatever we're doing on the ground.
What have you seen, Shane, in the things that we've gone and during our trips? Because we'll both be making our fifth trip, or on our fifth trip as this is airing. What are some of the things that you've seen that maybe we did in the early trips and now we don't do, which is better, that maybe we did that we shouldn't have done?
In a lot of the early trips, we would take everything. I mean, we would pack our check bags with tons and tons of stuff of everything that we possibly needed to take down there with us to do whatever mission we were doing, be it, crayons and paper to do Vacation Bible School with kids down there, to, plan on leaving clothes that we were taking with us to leave, and leave all of our clothes down there. We had the same mindset that a lot of organizations have, of that we need to take stuff there. The problem is that a lot of that stuff is available there, and that's something that we've really more cognizantly tried to do, is with our contacts that we now have in Haiti after being there now 4 times, now 5 times, is we get with those contacts and we find out, what can we buy there? So not only do we not have to haul it down there, but we can support their economy by buying those things there. Also, with the Equipping Haiti, also, since we've started this organization, we try to look for the things that we can do to either help businesses that are already going or help the communities that are already there. We dug a well in a community this last year, so that the people of that community do not have to walk to the neighboring community like a mile to a mile and a half to get water. I mean, we as Americans don't even think about water. We turn the handle on the tap and water comes out. I mean, it's just amazing to think that you would go and haul water a mile to a mile and a half multiple times a day just to live. It's amazing that we don't think about electricity. We walk over and flip on the light switch and just expect the light to come on. Even if they do have electricity in Haiti and have the lights to use, there's still a good possibility that they're going to walk over to that switch, flip it, and the light's not going to come on because the power doesn't run 24/7, 365.
It's not the 2 or 3 hours that day that they have electricity.
Exactly, and the vast majority of the Haitian population doesn't even have electricity in their homes. Not saying that they need it, but that just shows the differences that a few hundred miles off the Florida coast make. That's after being there for 5 times in 6 years, that stuff's still amazing.
We're talking with Shane Shelley and Katie Koo, members of the Equipping Haiti board, here on Dateline Marion, the radio program. We need to take a break. We'll do that, and we'll come back with more right after this.
I used to be a statistic. I was one of the 102,000 children in foster care waiting to be adopted.
Maria!
Yes, Dad?
Do you remember to bring down the laundry?
Yes, Dad.
Thanks, I love you.
I love you too. He's not perfect. In fact, sometimes he gets on my nerves. But he's Dad, and I kind of like that.
Each year, more than 20,000 children age out of foster care without being adopted.
My name is Maria, and I was adopted. That means they picked me. Thanks, Mom and Dad.
To find your Maria, learn how you can make a difference by contacting your local child welfare agency or go to adoptuskids.org.
Picture this. You're sitting at your computer reading the day's news. You click on the next interesting headline only to get...
You have reached this month's limit of free stories. Please enter your credit card number to continue.
Well, not with Dateline Marion. Dateline Marion is a community news website that covers Marion and Williamson County, and there is no limit to the number of stories you can read. That's no limit this week, this month, or this year. Check us out at DatelineMarion.com for local news when you want it, as often as you want it. Oh, and by the way, it's free.
Back on Dateline Marion, the radio program, and we're talking with Katie Koo and Shane Shelley. They're members of the board of directors of Marion, Illinois-based Equipping Haiti. And right now, Equipping Haiti has a 4-member team in Haiti doing ministry work there in the communities of Damien and Bigorod, which are just on the outskirts of Port-au-Prince. And we're recording this program actually before the team leaves because I will be there with this team. And I do want to give a little tease because next week's program will actually be recorded in Haiti. And we'll be talking with our good friend Valmy Florenville, who is officially our field administrator in Haiti. And it's great to have someone in Haiti who can work with us. And we've talked a little bit about the fact that we have feet and hands there in Haiti that can help communicate with us what the actual needs are. Shane, I want to go back to you because I want to talk about this trip in particular. This is a lot different than the trips we've taken in the past. Our first group was 9, and it's grown ever since. In the last 2 years, we've taken 16 people to Haiti. This year, it's 4. And a lot of people might think that's intimidating. I actually think it's pretty neat, the way it's all been orchestrated and the way it's come together. But just talk about what you're looking forward to about this year's trip.
Well, it's going to be a great trip. I mean, we're recording this before it even happens, but I know it's going to be a great trip because we actually had planned on, and up until a week or so ago, had 6 people that were going on this trip. Well, due to unforeseen circumstances, 2 of those people have needed to go other directions, and I believe it's God just throwing us, if you will, in the direction that we need to go anyway. We've a lot talked about in the Equipping Haiti board meetings of making these trips smaller with people on the ground, as far as people on the ground, and doing what we're designed as an organization to do, which is equip the Haitians to do this on their own. I mean, that's what our mission statement is allowing the Haitians or teaching the Haitians to do all the things that we come there to do on their own. So taking a four-person team, we can't do it all we can't do it all. So not only are we helping to stimulate the Haitian economy by buying things there that we don't need to haul with us, because now we're going to have really limited space on what we can take with us. With a 16-person crew, you have 16 check bags. That is a whole lot of stuff you can take. With a 4-person team and 4 check bags, and needing to take the things that you need to take for 4 people to be there for a week, that doesn't leave you a whole lot of room left. So hauling all the stuff that we need to take, that we need to have there for our activities there, is not going to happen. We have to buy it there, which is what we should be doing anyway. But a 4-person team also allows us to find those Haitian people that can fill in our team to do our missions, and either get them to volunteer to do this or pay them to do this, further spurring the economy of Haiti. And truthfully, paying them is not really that big of a deal when you consider that the daily minimum wage for a Haitian person is $5. Not $5 an hour,
right?
But $5 a day.
Yeah, and I've talked about that on other programs here, and it's just hard to fathom that the legal minimum wage is $5 a day. And what's even harder for me to fathom is the fact that 80% of the population makes less than $2 a day. Now think about, there's kids in our town that get allowance of more than $2 a day. And here's a person that's trying to support his entire family for $2 a day. And this kind of leads me into this question, and Katie, I'll ask you this because I know you've experienced this, we all have, but we talk about the culture here compared to the culture there, and it's truly amazing to see people who make $2 a day be so thankful and so generous every time you see them.
They are, and they truly are a very generous people and a very thankful people. I was amazed, and he was like, "This is amazing, Mom. Like, how can these people live? They have all these family members, and sometimes it's multi-generational family living in one home." And he's like, "They all live in a home the size of my bedroom." And I'm like, "Yes, that's what I've been trying to get you to understand, Joshua." But so they invite us over to their home, and of course we visit outside because the home is very small. They don't have much to offer you, but they still offered us water, which I didn't know whether it was clean or not because it was in a cup, so I sipped very delicately. And they had plastic chairs, like the plastic chairs that stack on top of each other that we have at Walmart that you can buy. They were dirty and dusty, so they're very diligently cleaning, dusting them off, and setting them out so we can sit and visit out under the shade tree by their house. And the gentleman that was with me had a bag that he was carrying with him for the day. And they dusted his bag 3 different times, the children did, during this visit time. And obviously, at that point, it was my first trip, I didn't speak the language. And there was only one translator, and there's multiple Haitian people and multiple Americans. So we kind of had to take turns. But it's also amazing that you can sit with a child, and you don't have to know the language to have a kid on your lap, and how they hug you. And the people you can tell that they're thankful to have you there. They're thankful, the moms constantly said, and this is when we were still just feeding their kids a snack. We've learned from that also, and we do better than that now. They were thankful that we taught their kids about Jesus, and they were thankful that we gave their kids a snack, and they were thankful that we came and we were helping their community. And we do better now than those simple things that we did that first year. But even those simple things that we did, this family was grateful for, and they were thankful for, and they had very little to offer, but that very little to offer, they were willing to give to me. And it's heartbreaking. My husband tells a story, the first trip that he went with us, there was a little boy at Vacation Bible School, and that day we did serve a meal to the children, but There was also some type of snack that went with it, and it was like a little bar or cookies that was in a package, and he thought the little boy could not get the package open. So thankfully, he didn't just go over and open it up for him, but he got a translator to come over and talk to the little boy and ask him, if he needed help. And the little boy said no, he was saving that for his grandmother because she hadn't had anything to eat today. We can't fathom what that looks like. We can't fathom to know, and to be 4 years old and have the self-control. He looked like he was 3, 4, 5 years old. To have the self-control that you have this little package of cookies and you're not going to eat even one of them, but instead you're going to save them to take home to grandma because you know she hasn't had anything to eat today. That's kind of rough, and I don't know that I know very many 3, 4, or 5-year-olds currently that I'm friends with that would have saved those for grandma. So it's just it's a remarkable thing to get to go and meet these people that have so little and are so generous.
Kind of makes you feel guilty when you complain there's not enough donuts to go around in the morning.
It does, and it makes me kind of harsh as a mother sometimes. Last week when they were having, or 2 weeks ago when they were having the problems in Haiti, my daughter Sarah, who is 12, might have complained that she'd had a few too many sandwiches. She's like, we've eaten sandwiches all week. And I said, you know what? I don't know if our friends in Haiti are eating it all right now. So you'll eat another sandwich and you won't complain.
Well, we are out of time, and this could go on forever. We've talked about the fact that, in fact, I mentioned in planning this, I could talk about Haiti for 24 minutes myself, but talking to yourself sometimes can be bad radio, so I opted not to do that. But I want to thank you, Katie, and thank you, Shane, for being here. Again, during the airing of this trip, Shane and I will be on the ground in Haiti with the Equipping Haiti and their mission team. And we're going to have a report. We'll report back on that later. But next week, again, a reminder, Valmy Florenville, who lives in the middle of all this, who is our coordinator there in Haiti, will be our guest. I look forward to that. But again, thank you, too, for being here.
Thank you.
Thanks.
That does it for this week's edition of Dateline Marion, the radio program. Join us again next week. We'll actually be recording in Haiti. You can hear it right here on Monster Radio at 8:06 a.m. next Saturday morning.
This has been Dateline Marion, the radio program with Tim Petrowich, a public affairs presentation of Monster Radio WGGH and DatelineMarion.com. Presented every Saturday from 8:05 until 8:30. Join us again next week for Dateline Marion, the radio program on Monster Radio WGGH, 98.5 FM, 1150 AM, and WGGH.net.
The views and opinions of the hosts are not necessarily those of the ownership or management of this station. More information on program schedules are available at WGGH.net.
This is Lawler's Hometown Heroes with David Lawler. Interviews with people who give back to their community. Teachers, leaders, and local nonprofit charities. If you'd like to participate, please call 618-993-8102. And now, David Lawler's Hometown Heroes.
Good morning, WGGH. Good morning, Facebook Live. David Lawler here with Lawler's Hometown Heroes. With me this morning are two very special guests, Dr. Glenn Pichard and Mrs. Joe Pichard. Thank you guys so much for being here with me this morning.
It's our honor.
Thank you.
Well, let's start with a little bit about your background. It would be impossible to accurately sum up either of your life resumes. You've done so much. So, ladies first, Joe. Let's talk about a little bit about where you're from and a little bit of your story and how you met this handsome young man.
Okay, well, I'm from Central Illinois, a little town called Roberts, and about 500 people. And I went into teaching and came to SIU and stayed here, been there ever since, and got my teaching degree in, I guess, 71, and started teaching, taught for 34 years in the public schools. Several of those schools in the area were New Simpson Hill, down by Tunnel Hill, and then I spent my last 20 years in Carterville. And after that, when I retired, I basically went into our foundation and became the director of that. And we've been married 42 years, I guess, and going forward, and it's never been dull. How about that?
Absolutely. No, that's remarkable. That's a testament and a reason for me to, be proud of you, independent of all the things you've done. Being married so long, my dad, the videographer here, he will be married 50 years this year to my mom.
That's
great.
That is so great.
That's something very, very special.
Yep, for sure.
Glenn, you've obviously been and done a lot in your life. Tell us a little bit about your background. What was your first job? I know you have a wonderful history in serving our great state and our country and state senate and U.S. Congress, and been at the helm of SIU. But where did you get your start? Tell me a little bit about your background.
Well, I was born and raised on a small family farm over in White County, about 60 miles east of here, and grew up there, graduated Carmi High School in 1962, went into the United States Army, served in Korea, was over there about 2 years. And my dad was a Democrat precinct committeeman out in the rural area where we lived, and so I grew up following him around to the polling places every election and hauling folks to the polls. And John Kennedy became president of the United States when I was in high school and became my hero. And so that was my first orientation to politics, but I knew down deep inside I always wanted to go into government service. I thought it was an honorable profession in which to serve. And came to SIU right out of the United States Army, got my bachelor's degree, loved baseball. I grew up playing baseball and became a coach over in a little town of Galatia.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and then up at Thompsonville. So I was 4 years a teacher and a coach, and then got my master's and then later my doctorate degree in educational administration, and decided after having been a precinct committeeman and vice chairman of the party here in Williamson County that I wanted to run for the Illinois State Senate. I did that. And
what year was that, Glenn?
Gosh, that was in 1982.
Okay.
A long time ago.
Right.
And I lost to Senator Gene Johns in a three-way race, and but unfortunately, Gene passed away a year or so later with cancer, and party people came to me and said, we'd like to appoint you, and they did, and then I ran in 1984 and got elected, and then Kenny Gray left Congress in '88, and I ran for Congress. So I've spent most of my adult life in public service.
What are some lessons that come to mind? You've you've spent a lot of time with some really good people serving in very honorable professions. What are some lessons that stand out in your mind? Hopefully a lot of these people listening will be inspired and can take some of these lessons and this advice to give back in their own way, whether it's getting involved in government service or just getting more involved in the community at large. But what are some lessons that you've learned through the years that you think might be important to share?
Well, I think the most important lesson I've learned really comes from a Chinese philosopher, Lao Tse, 4,000 years ago, because all of us who are in public service, at some point in time, maybe we aspire to leadership. But he said that the worst leader is that leader who is feared by the people. A better leader is that leader who is loved by the people. But the best leader of all is that leader who, when the work is done and the goal is achieved, the people will say, we did it ourselves. And when you read present-day research, authors that wrote the book Good to Great, where they talked about what constitutes great leadership, and they interviewed CEOs of major corporations all over the world, really. And they said that the best leaders of all the corporations that were successful were the leaders that had a high sense of humility. Well, that goes right back to what Lao Tse was saying.
Absolutely.
Because with humility, you unite people behind common goals. Without humility, you divide people. And so the job is never about you or about your own personal title or authority or position. It's always about us as a community, as a state, as a nation. And unless you seek to lead that way, then all you'll end up with is division. There's a lot of people I hear today, David, talk about, well, you know, the economy is great, and that seems to be, Bill Clinton said, you know, he remembered that it's about the economy, stupid, or, you know. Well, it's not really. Economies rise and fall, you know, but real leaders unite the people behind a common cause. That's the baseline for any civilization to succeed. And you know, if we're basing our assessment upon the economy, and yet we accept division as a par for the course, we lose.
What have we accomplished?
We have accomplished nothing. And particularly in a democracy, it depends upon the people being united. Doesn't mean they agree on everything. In fact, the two parties have considerable differences of opinion in this country, and that's okay. That's served us well for many, many years. I know my father loved Harry Truman, but he talked equally about great things about Dwight Eisenhower, you know. And so I think that's an important thing for us to remember, is that leadership in a democracy depends upon the humility of the leader, which gives that person the ability to unite the people. And that's what really matters for us.
That advice could not come at a better time. If you pay attention to the news on either a local, a state, or a national level, I don't know if anyone from the federal government's tuning in, but that's remarkable advice. I could not have possibly put it any better myself. And we'll maybe circle back on that. We're going to take a short break. Thank you so much for tuning in to WGGH. With me this morning is Dr. Glenn Pichard and Joe Pichard. Thank you guys for being here. Please stay tuned.
Monster Radio AM 1150 WGGH is proud to serve our community with Marion Wildcat sports and high school sporting events from other smaller schools around the area that don't usually get radio promotion, like Johnston City, Goreville, and Crab Orchard. And we have local talk shows, as well as local news and weather information. And of course, we'll get your public service or non-charitable organization's message on the air absolutely free. Just call 993-8102 or go to WGGH.net for more info. We're proud to keep Southern Illinois connected. This is Lawler's Hometown Heroes. If you have any questions for today's guest, please call 618-993-8102. Once again, here's David Lawler.
A great leader. That's a great lesson. It's a great way to get started. I want to start talking now about the Pichard Foundation. I want to start with you, Joe. I think it was your idea to start the foundation. Is that correct?
Well, not exactly.
Okay.
I'll tell you that story. After the governor's race, which was in 1998, which we were totally absorbed in and for several years, actually, but the last year I even took off from school so I could help with that, took leave. So when we didn't win that, we kind of had to regroup and think, now what are we going to do next? So we were sitting in our living room in Marion several days after the election, and I just said, well, what are we going to do? And then Glenn said, well, the only thing that I can really think of right now that has a lot of meaning to me is we need to do something to help children. So I had been teaching for years and been involved in helping children, and so the foundation grew out of that conversation, and so it's kind of an example of where something good came out of a very difficult time.
Absolutely.
Challenging time for us.
Wow.
So John A. Logan agreed to host us. We've been at John A. Logan for 19 years now. And the mission of the foundation is basically to help abused, abandoned, and neglected children in Southern Illinois. And we work in the area from north of Mount Vernon, like Centralia, Marion County, all the way to Cairo, and then east and west. And it's kind of taken on a life of its own.
Glenn, how does it work in terms of filling in the gap? I mean, help the people who are listening understand how your organization fits in with DCFS, Child Advocacy Center, CASA, the Court-Appointed Special Advocates. There's so many different organizations, and I think you what you've done has been, it seems, at least from a bird's eye view, to kind of help coalesce all these organizations and fill in some of those gaps, for lack of better words. But how can you explain that? How does the organization fit in from the bigger picture standpoint?
Well, we work with all of those organizations. In fact, we work with about over 30 organizations throughout Southern Illinois, whose main mission is to take care of our children, particularly children that are poor, that have been disenfranchised, maybe in a terrible situation in the home and so on. And what we try to do, I think if I could explain it in just a few words, is we try to look at the children that those agencies serve, to try to normalize their lives in very difficult situation. If you're a child growing up in an abusive situation, if you've been abandoned by their parents, and we see this every day, particularly with the methamphetamine epidemic, and now it's more than that, it's cocaine and everything else. Young couples, maybe in their late 20s, early 30s, with good jobs, they get hooked on these drugs. They'll just abandon the child. And a lot of times the children end up with the grandparents and so on. So these are abnormal situations. They're abnormal childhoods that these children are experiencing. So what we do is we try to raise several $100,000 a year to help these agencies provide normal experiences for these children. Maybe it's, summer camp. Maybe it's taking them to a minors ball game, or whatever it might be. So a lot of what we do is meant toward helping these children experience a normal life in the worst kinds of conditions that you can imagine. And that's about the best way. Go ahead.
Well, another way to look at it, in addition to that, is that we try to provide things that the agencies cannot provide for the children.
Right.
Because we don't take any state or federal funds. So whatever money we raise, we don't have red tape to go along with it. So they call us. What I like to tell them is, call us when you have run into a brick wall, when you can't find the funding anywhere else. This child is desperately in need of something and you need help. Call us. We want to be your last resort for a lot of things, but also the first place you call for things like Glenn's talking about. So if we have a child who's had her 4 front teeth knocked out, which we had one of these because she was in the middle of domestic abuse, neglect, the agency could not get a bridge for her because the state said that all the teeth could be pulled, could replace with false teeth. So they called us. And we said, of course we will do it. We can get this child's teeth replaced. And so it varies, but it could be counseling. Whatever the need is, we try to take care of it to help the child.
Yeah, and David, it's not, we have to have certification from a certified social worker to treat the child. We don't just throw money out to anybody that calls in and says, we've got a problem. If it's certified by one of the agencies and they can't pay for it or whatever, we pay for it.
And that is so important to understand, because one of the questions I was going to ask you at some point is how do we pay attention and know which organizations that we can trust to donate our money to? And that's where, for anyone who's tuning in, as you learn about how the foundation works and how critically important it is to have funding to fill in those gaps when a kid needs their teeth replaced, because what you appear to be describing are some traumatic experiences. We don't just have trauma whenever someone serves in the armed forces. We have trauma when you lose a loved one, or when you're a child who is experiencing something, and that's something that can result in clinical illness if you don't fill that gap in and do what you're doing. So thank you so much for doing what you're doing, because I've learned a little bit about it, but I'm learning so much more now. So keep doing what you're doing.
Well, and I can give you another example just real quickly. For a child that's been in an abusive situation to have to go to court and face the perpetrator of their abuse, that's like a double whammy to the child, And we have wired courtrooms in Southern Illinois where there's a separate room where the child can sit and not have to go into the courtroom. So just things like that are helpful to a child also.
I can only imagine. Let's talk about funding. How, if someone wants to give back to the Pichard Foundation, whether it's time, money, what are some ways that people can give back? How can we educate people on how that works and what people can do to maybe volunteer their time or money?
Well, we have a website that they can go to first, pichardfoundation.org, which tells a lot about what we do. There's also a way if they want to donate financially, they can donate from there. Or we're always reachable at Johnny Logan College. Just call our office. We're happy to take new volunteers in whatever ways we can.
Would you accept my dad and I? There's two strapping young men here. Dad, I'm volunteering you. This is a formal request. You can't say no. You're on the news. They're live right now.
Of course.
No. What about fundraising opportunities? Are there events coming up this year that people could be aware of and try and give back? What's on the horizon in 2018?
Well, we've decided next year is our 20th anniversary, and so we've decided to look forward and have a really great opportunity for people to give and a celebration for our 20th. And this year we are just going to keep working away in the office and doing what we do and hope that people will choose to support us. We'll give them the opportunity by letting them know that we do always need and appreciate their support by doing a mailing, but we're not going to do a big event. We're all volunteer, David, and we have no one who takes any salary. I don't take a salary. We have no expense accounts. We do everything on our own.
I love to hear that.
So when you have that type of a situation, we're trying to use our energy in the best way we can for right now, and it appears to be just helping the children with on the day-to-day basis of what needs to be done, putting the energy towards the 20th anniversary celebration.
Share with me some more success stories, because I think whenever people can think of a real example, like the young person who needed some new teeth. What are some other stories that stand out where you can just say, the foundation, I'm so proud and thankful of what we're doing, because you can tell this is really having an impact on some people's lives?
I have so many requests all the time for beds for children who are already abused, abandoned, neglected, and are living with grandparents, or the agency cannot purchase the bed. There are no funds for that, and they're sleeping on floors. It's an amazing amount of children who do not have beds. We have calls on that all the time. And then we had a little boy. I can tell you this example. There are many, hundreds and hundreds of these examples, but this one little boy, he had been sexually abused, and the abuse took place in his bed, in his bedroom. And the child, understandably, could not bring himself to sleep in that bed, to get in that bed again. So although the agency couldn't provide different bedding and sheets and covers, and we took care of that.
We're going to take a short break here on WGGH. Please stay tuned to listen to Dr. Glenn Pichard and Joe Pichard talk about the Pichard Foundation, ways you can give back to that organization and other organizations. Thank you guys for being here with me.
You're welcome.
Picture this. You're sitting at your computer reading the day's news. You click on the next interesting headline only to get...
You have reached this month's limit of free stories. Please enter your credit card number to continue.
Well, not with Dateline Marion. Dateline Marion is a community news website that covers Marion and Williamson County, and there is no limit to the number of stories you can read. That's no limit this week, this month, or this year. Check us out at DatelineMarion.com for local news when you want it, as often as you want it. Oh, and by the way, it's free.
This is Lawler's Hometown Heroes. If you have any questions for today's guest, please call 618-993-8102. Once again, here's David Lawler.
Good morning, listeners, to WGGH, Lawler's Hometown Heroes. David Lawler here with me this morning is Glenn Pichard and Joe Pichard to talk about the Pichard Foundation and all of the life experiences that you've had, and hopefully learn some lessons. And ultimately, I hope to, we're here talking about our youth, get some of our youth, get some of our young people inspired to give back in a similar way. And I think giving people an explanation of how the funding works from the Peshard Foundation will make it easier to open up their checkbooks, knowing how vital these funds are, and it's not, not paying anyone's salary, everyone's volunteer base. So that's remarkable what you're doing. So thank you again for doing what you're doing. Please keep up the good fight. We were talking about some of the success stories and the sort of impact that you've had on these kids, and it's remarkable. Any other stories that stand out, or advice that you have for people who are interested in giving back to the Peshard Foundation or other organizations?
Well, David, here's one thing that I would say. Just last night in the grocery store, I had a lady come up to me and say, I've lived in a family where generations where abuse has occurred, and she said, what can I do for the foundation? Well, here's the most important thing you can do. You can break the cycle of abuse, because this run for generations. And she said, I did. She said, I stood up, and
A professional will take care of it. They can do it anonymously if they want to, but they can make a difference and possibly save a child's life. And helping the agencies do their job.
Is that DCFS that goes through, or who's
DCFS runs the hotline, yes.
Talk to me. So someone who's interested in being a volunteer, I mean, two-part question. Number one, someone wants to volunteer. What sort of a time commitment does that look like? And then number two, you're doing the training. Give us the Cliff Notes. What are some examples? What are some lessons that we can learn on how to be aware to spot these red flags and help educate our friends and family on how to detect this?
Well, of identifying abuse, there are. If you go to Prevent Child Abuse Illinois or look up their literature, there are many signs that are raising red flags for children. Mm-hmm. It could be a sudden change in behavior. It could be unexplainable bruises. It could be explanations that don't fit the situations, not wanting to go home. There are many signs of abuse. And those you can self-educate yourself with this too. You don't have to come to a training to learn. Just show an interest and go online or go to any of these agencies that are existing. They'll be happy to get you involved. But anyone can also call our office. We'll be happy to put you on our list so you're included in trainings we do. We want to involve more people.
Let's talk about that a little bit. So if someone wants to get involved, they call you today. Joe, what sort of time commitment are you going to tell them that this might entail?
There can be a time commitment of whatever is desired on their part. Mm-hmm. I mean, our volunteerism goes a lot with at Christmas time when we're doing Christmas gifts for children, or at various times throughout the year. It ebbs and flows. If they want to be involved on a more intensive level, they can go and sign up and go through the training to be a CASA advocate, which is a whole other level of involvement. Mm-hmm. But for us, it's as much as you want it to be, as much time as you might have.
How much has the Peshard Foundation gotten into schools? I mean, because when it comes to detection, it seems like, teachers are going to be a pretty important aspect of this because they have contact with our children on a daily basis. What sort of training exists in that regard? I mean, you got me thinking about this. It's very inspiring what you're doing, but it's alarming to know the rates are so significant. So I think it's great advice that you have, Joe. Just self-education. Get online. I'll share these resources through our Facebook page and hopefully get more people inspired to give back to your organization and others. But
well, David,
but
here's the situation that's difficult. Child abuse, abandonment, and neglect is not something most communities want to own. We can present all the statistics about the rates of child abuse and so on, but many communities want to sweep that under the rug as if it weren't really a problem here. Well, it is a problem, and it's a problem everywhere. And so what we have done in our training is try to encourage communities to send groups of people, a teacher, parents, law enforcement, social workers and so on, so that they begin to develop a team effort in a community to begin to resolve the problem. Now, one aspect of that Joe can talk about for a second is this trauma counseling.
Trauma focus, and David's giving us a.
But we'll finish this up on Facebook Live. But with WGGH, we'll have to wrap it up. Thank you so much, Joe, for being here. Glenn, thank you for spending your time, and thank you for all you're doing with the Pritchard Foundation. Keep it up.
Thank you.
WGGH Marion.
Evacuations in Northern California. Resignation from the College of Cardinals. I'm Christopher Cruz. Thousands of firefighters are trying to contain a wildfire raging in Northern California and heading for the city of Redding. The wildfire has burned over 48,000 acres now and is less than 5% contained. Mandatory evacuation orders are in place for nearly 40,000 people. Correspondent Paul Verkaman is on the scene this morning.
We've got several major wildfires in California right now, and in the overarching picture, some 89 large fires, most of them burning in the west, and more than 900,000 acres. This is strapping resources because you can't put all the crews, of course, in one or two places.
The former Archbishop of Washington, D.C., Cardinal Theodore McCarrick, has resigned from the College of Cardinals. Vatican correspondent John Allen this morning.
The accusations now hold that Cardinal McCarrick is guilty of a variety of acts of sexual misconduct and abuse, including in at least one case with a minor. Of course, Pope Francis has pledged himself to a strong zero-tolerance policy on sexual abuse. The Vatican announced that the Pope has accepted Cardinal McCarrick's resignation from the College of Cardinals.
New Yorker magazine reporter Ronan Farrow says 6 women who accused CBS CEO Les Moonves of sexual misconduct had to overcome their worries that their careers would be harmed.
They all continued to fear retaliation. You know, Janet Jones, the writer, describes him calling her afterwards and threatening her and saying these sort of things that appear to be cliches to us, but obviously coming after a work meeting and after an alleged assault like this are very, very serious and frightening, like, you're never going to work again. And she and these other women were still frightened to come forward, but said they were doing so because they wanted to expose what they feared was a culture of impunity.
Police in Robstown, Texas this morning near Corpus Christi continue to investigate 2 separate but linked shootings. 5 people are dead. I'm Christopher Cruz.
You're never going to get as much sleep as you want. That's why you need to make every hour of sleep you do get really count. Hi, I'm Scott Tannen, founder of Boll & Branch. Our sheets are handcrafted from pure, fair trade, 100% organic cotton. Hundreds of thousands of Americans, including 3 U.S. presidents, sleep better than ever on Boll & Branch sheets. If you order today, we'll give you $50 off your first set of sheets with promo code SLEEP, spelled B-O-L-L, and branch.com. Promo code SLEEP.
The Westwood One Podcast Network. Rock Talk with Mitch LaFon.
Def Leppard guitarist Phil Collen explains why he had to recently leave the tour. Former Motley Crue frontman John Corabi has some fatherly advice for Tommy Lee. And the boys are gonna rock with Vinnie Vincent drummer Bobby Rock.
Rock Talk with Mitch LaFon. Download and subscribe at Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and the Westwood One Podcast app. Free from the Westwood One Podcast Network.
Hello, I'm Jimmy Dean of Monster Radio WGGH. I'm asking for your help. The Johnston City Council has agreed to name a new park, the Mike Dean Memorial Park, if my family can raise $15,000 towards the cost. Many of you knew Mike as a friend, colleague, sports announcer, teacher, or someone that he has helped. Checks should be made payable to the Mike Dean Park Fund and mailed to the Johnston City Treasurer's Office, care of Johnston City City Hall. All donations are tax deductible, and thank you from the entire Dean family.
Dexter's Yard Care can take all the pain and strain out of maintaining your residential or business lawn.
Come on, come on.
Think about it. After buying and maintaining the equipment, then all the time and sweating, and of course the gas, it may be more affordable and a lot easier to hire Dexter's Yard Care, and they're 100% fully insured. So if he cuts his foot off in your lawn, you're not responsible for it. Dexter's Yard Care, where they really do care. Call for your free estimate today, 618-926-6645 or facebook.com/Dexter's Yard Care.
Southern Illinois weather.
Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun this afternoon, with daytime highs approaching 84. Winds out of the north, 5 to 10 miles per hour. Chance for scattered showers. Tonight, lows level off around 66, partly cloudy skies. Daytime highs approaching 81. Tomorrow, chance for scattered thunderstorms. From the Weather Eye Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jennifer Wojcicki on Monster Radio AM 1150. Currently, it's 73.
The views and opinions of the hosts are not necessarily those of the ownership or management of this station. More information on program schedules are available at WGGH.net.
Baby, you can drive my car. Yes, I'm gonna be a star. Baby, you can drive my car. And baby, I love you. Beep, 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 yeah.
Welcome to SI Car News with your host, Chris Hahn. If you'd like to participate, please call 618-993-8102. And now, here's Chris.
Here I am. Car news this morning. What a beautiful Saturday morning. Glad you're here. We've got a lot of things going on today. We've got a giveaway. We do have a giveaway, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. But a lot of things going on. Also, a little anniversary today. Yesterday, actually, was officially the 10 years on the radio. 10 years actually on the radio. Started 10 years ago doing SI Car News. Believe it or not, I hope I've improved over the last 10 years. Could be a possibility that I'm kind of bullheaded, so maybe I'm consistently bad, but you never know. You never know. So a lot of things going on today. A lot of things happening. So we'll talk about those. And got Brian over there, my producer. He is in there controlling the board.
You've got the studio next door all fixed up now.
It is. I appreciate that.
And I sent you I flooded your Facebook with pictures, but we had a lot of work to do in there.
Oh, it's great. It sounds wonderful. And I appreciate the fact that it is done like that because, it's a great little station.
We had that studio was a mess this time Monday morning. Let's just say it was a mess.
Yes, it was. And a lot of history here at WGGH, which is going to be celebrating their 70th anniversary next year. So no telling what's going to be going on with that. There's a lot of things to be happening. 70 years on the air, WGGH. So that's really cool. A lot of stations don't make it that long, but this one right here has done it. This one right here, has made 70 years. So they started a few years before me. Yeah, I just had another. Not sadly, had another birthday. So, getting on to other news, other things happening. There isn't any car shows right here in the immediate area that I know of right now. If there is, you can always happy to call in and talk to us at 618-993-8102 and let us know and say, well, there is. I know there's an all Ford show coming up in St. Louis. So not only is there baseball in St. Louis, but there's an all Ford show going on, and so that's pretty cool. And I want to, okay, I know you guys, Cardinal fans. I know I live in Cardinal territory. I understand that. And here at the station, we broadcast the Chicago White Sox. We do. We broadcast the Chicago White Sox, and soon to be broadcasting the St. Louis Blues hockey. So a lot of things going on that way. And David, glad to see you. Listen to your show. I know. I saw that. Thank you. Now we're going to get you into David Lawler right here. He does the show Hometown Heroes. I'm going to get you into I want to. You did. As far as I'm concerned, you traded up, and you got that pickup truck.
Yes, sir.
Now, if we can just get you into something like maybe a cool custom car or some classic or something along that line.
Get me something in the $15,000 price range, and I'm sold. But what would you recommend? What's your favorite vehicle in that price range?
Well, I mean, $15,000. We're talking like a cool classic car or something like that.
And,
you can Camaros, Mustangs.
Yeah.
You can look at some Mopars. Yeah, you're in a good price range there at a good starter vehicle, and that is good, David. It really is. As far as a good starter vehicle, and there's people right now listening that their ears just perked up and went, "Oh man, I've got one," and they really do. I know a lot of classic car dealers in the area that right now just went, "Oh my," and they'll be yeah, okay, David Lawler, let me look that up. So I appreciate that. It's cool. It is cool to have a car like that. And to enjoy the hobby. It's a good hobby. It really is. And, of course, I know you're busy and hoping to be even more busy coming up. So in a few days. So that's pretty cool. Oh, Brian's playing your theme music there. But I do appreciate that. I really do. Thanks a lot for doing what you do. I like Hometown Heroes, and continue.
Thank you. Thank you for doing your show. How long have you had this now, Chris? How long have you been doing it?
It'll be 10 years next year here. I've done 10 years at another station, so it's my 10-year anniversary for actually being on the radio.
You know who you need to reach out to? I've told you, Mike Apsher. I hear he has quite a classic car collection, a lot of American-made vehicles, and certainly owning 7 dealerships, he probably has.
Oh, I'll bet. Yeah,
quite a collection. So you should invite him on the show.
I'm going to do that, Dave. Thank you.
Have a great day, Chris.
All righty, you too, Dave. Thank you. So that's cool. So you get people involved in this, and it's a good hobby. It really is. And so Dave's a good guy. Like his show. Hope you tune it in. It's 8:30 to 9 o'clock. Hometown Heroes, right here at Monster Radio, I can say without fear, we have the most local talk in Southern Illinois right here. So, yeah, we do. On to some newsworthy items, and car-related, truck-related. I know people are very brand loyal in this hobby. A lot of people are, and there's some people that just say, "Hey, I like every car." That's cool. That's me. I can find good in every brand of vehicle. Some of you just spit your coffee out and went, "No, I couldn't find a good Ford or a good Chevy or a good Mopar or something." But yeah, you can. You really can. But I want to read this because this is kind of serious, and it involves Ford. They are recalling just over 500 million Fusions and Escapes over possible roll-away. If you've got one, you'll probably get a letter in the mail from Ford telling you take it in there, get it done. And by all means, no matter what the recall may be, get it done. Get it done. If they're recalling that car for whatever reason, Ford, Chevy, GM, whoever's recalling it, they're recalling it because there's a strong possibility something's going to happen. So make sure you get that done. Make sure you do. Make sure you get it taken care of. So that's something with Ford, and it happens with all of them. We know that. So could be GM next. Could be Chrysler. Yeah, it happens. It happens. Just again, thank goodness no one's gotten hurt.
Speaking of Chrysler, did you hear? I sent you that the other day about the former Fiat CEO who passed away.
Yes.
Saw that on CNBC the other morning.
Yes, and I was going to bring it up. That's a good point. The former CEO who just stepped down not long ago. Just stepped down. In fact, he did a news conference because they felt that he was going to announce the demise of Chrysler itself and just keep Dodge. Yeah, he passed away. He's only 66 years old, and if you're my age, only 66 is not very old at all. So, yes, and it's sad because he did bring Chrysler back up to the level they're at now, and some people are upset because Fiat owns them. Some people don't like that, but then hey, it's nice to have a choice of vehicles. So that's why I look at, that's sad news that happened. But yeah, again, just a young guy, Unless you're in your 20s, and 66 is like ancient. I know that. All right, on to other news that I have here. Now, this is kind of neat, and this happens not just with this particular gentleman, but it happens with a lot of people that they get involved in the. They may be a NASCAR driver. No telling. They get involved in other things. And Mark Wahlberg. You guys remember? You know Mark Wahlberg. You watch, I believe he's on Blue Bloods and shows like that. If you go back real far, New Kids on the Block. My daughter probably remembers Marky Mark from New Kids on the Block. Oh, God. Yes, I was that parent that had to buy CDs and things like that for the kids, for New Kids on the Block and all those boy bands. Oh, my gosh, yes. Wow.
That's about 1990, when you say?
Oh, yes. Which doesn't seem... Brian, there's another thing. That doesn't seem long ago, 1990. You go, it's 1990. It was only like maybe 20 years ago. Oh, my gosh. Yeah, there you go. Thank you. Thank you.
I had to do it.
Oh, my
impulse in me.
But he's no longer doing that. He's 47 now, just almost tipping at the old big 5-0. But what he's doing now, of course, he's got the Wahlburgers restaurants. He does that. And now he has bought or is opening a Chevy dealership in Columbus, Ohio. Yes, he is buying it. He is doing that. So Wahlberg, if you're a Mark Wahlberg fan, looks like you make a trip to the Chevy dealership in Columbus, Ohio. I don't know if it's going to say if the sticker they put on all the cars. It was the first thing my dad used to take off. He said, "They want any free advertising. They can just talk to me. I don't want to advertise on them cars." So I guess you go to Columbus, Ohio, if you're a Mark Wahlberg fan, and buy a Chevy there, and it might have Wahlberg. Yep, it's called new showroom is called Mark Wahlberg Chevrolet. So that'll be on the car. If New Kids on the Block, maybe you want to go down there and buy a Chevy from Mark Wahlberg. I don't know if he'll be there. I really don't. So that's one of the things that he is doing. And so what can I say? He'd say here, let me look at where it says it's one of his spokesmen. It said Wahlberg probably won't be spending much time there at the Chevrolet dealership, but they began searching for the first dealership early last year and plan to open more dealerships together in the future. His partner, Mr. Feldman, said, "The Wahlberg brand is all about America, joining forces to sell and service Chevrolets with the magnetic draw of the Mark Wahlberg name allows us to do something special for the state of Ohio and the greater Columbus area." And for all those kids that are now grown up, you can get your own Mark Wahlberg Chevrolet. Wow. Yeah. I again don't know if he shows up there. He's pretty busy doing shows and movies and selling hamburgers and just he's just into everything. So that's Mark Wahlberg Chevrolet. I've got to mention somebody closer here, and I want to say nearer to our area right here in Marion, and I want to mention Marion Toyota and my buddy Dale McGee. I've got to mention them. This is a non-compensated endorsement, and that's the way I like it, because that's just what I do. And I keep up with Dale over there at Marion Toyota, and I see they sell a lot of cars. They really do. Now, they're a Toyota dealership, but I see them selling Fords and Chevys and Chryslers and other vehicles too. They move a lot of vehicles, and I see a lot of happy faces. So, and in fact, I was there last
was last weekend I was there. Stopped by in a busy place. Very pleasant people. Walked in. They didn't know me from anybody. Dale was out on the lot. But very nice people, every one of them. Nobody told me to get lost or anything like that. They were very accommodating, and I appreciate it. And that was Marion Toyota, and I do appreciate Dale out there doing his thing, selling those cars out there. So that's closer to home. That's closer to home. If you go out there to Marion Toyota, and here, just tell me you heard it here. Again, I'm not looking for anything. Just want to make sure my buddy Dale does you a good job on selling you a new Toyota or some of the other fine vehicles they have out there at Marion Toyota. That's right. That's what I'm about. That's what I'm about. So, okay, let's get right to this, because I know this is we've already had phone calls before the show, and thank you for calling before the show. But I've got 2 tickets. And there's some pretty, let me use this word, pretty sweet tickets. Now, I'm a Cub fan. But this is Cubs versus the Cardinals. And as you have seen, as you Cardinal fans know, you took care of us yesterday and beat the Cubs. Let's see if you do it again today. And that's what these tickets are for. 7:05 p.m., Wait a minute. Hold on just a second. Hold on. Hold the fort. Hold the fort. Excuse me.
We got a problem?
We don't have a problem. We have a miscommunication. This is for, well, no. It's fine. Let me clear this up. This is for tomorrow. This is for Sunday's game. I apologize. This is for Sunday's game. Sunday's game, July 29th. I was under the understanding it was for today's game. It is for tomorrow's game, July 29th. Okay, let me get that straight. I'm looking right here at the tickets. July 29th, 7:05 p.m. Sunday, 7:05 p.m., July 29th. Let me say that again, July 29th. So what we're going to do, I'm going to put some more information out at the break, and then we'll come back and we'll announce which number caller we'll take after the break. We've got a few more minutes before the break, but we'll do that. I apologize again. I misunderstood, and it is tomorrow, which makes it better. It really does, because that way you don't have to like rush to get to the game and all that. So it's tomorrow, and it is courtesy of, thank you so much, courtesy of the Marion Rotary. So yeah, it's I've got some people who are already telling me, said the game today is at 3. I know. Hey, leave it to Mr. Magoo. But it is tomorrow, Sunday, July 29th, at 7:05 p.m. So that is cool, and it could be the rubber game. It could be Cubs could come back and win, and then tomorrow could be the deciding game who takes the series right there. And I know you Cardinal fans. I mean, you're some loyal. I mean, my gosh, wow. Yeah. So all about baseball. So Cubs are too. We are too. But I mean, wow, really strict. Yeah. And I say a friendly rivalry. I say friendly rivalry. Yeah. So anyhow, we'll do that after the break. Wow. You know, that's a sign of getting old, Brian. That's a sign of getting old. Yeah, sorry. Sorry. Oh, I apologize. We're getting calls already. Yeah.
Public service announcement, folks. We appreciate everyone calling in. Please wait until we tell you what caller number we're going to take.
Right. We're going to do it.
Please
after
be
the break.
patient.
We're going to take a break. I'm going to announce again, please, that it is for tomorrow's game. Again, that's my fault. There were some miscommunications because I actually didn't have the tickets in hand until just a little while ago, and it does say Sunday, July 29th. Yeah.
Well, why don't we take a break early and we'll get the break out of the way now, and then we'll go to New Kids on the Block as we go to the break. Okay. As soon as everything loads, stay with us.
All righty, thanks. We'll do that.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-216-8991. 800-216-8991. Again, that's 800-216-8991.
If you need to move some earth, call Neat Cut Dirt Work. You've heard the Neat Cut name for years. They can do topsoil, fill dirt, tear buildings or houses down, dozer work. You name it, Neat Cut can move some earth. Neat Cut Dirt Work in Marion. Call 922-4400. 922-4400. It's a dirty job, but somebody's got to do it. Neat Cut Dirt Work in Marion. 922-4400.
My show isn't just about left and right, Democrats versus Republicans, liberals fighting conservatives. The Mike Gallagher Show's about life, family, friends, how you're going to pay for your kids' college, what information you need to get that promotion, how do you help your fellow man. It's also about standing up to power, whether that's the senator who's handing out favors to big donors or the race hustlers who divide us. Follow The Mike Gallagher Show at Facebook or Twitter at Radio Talker Mike and online at MikeOnline.com. It's The Mike Gallagher Show.
Weekday afternoons, 4 till 7 on Monster Radio, AM 1150.
Okay, we are back. We are back, and sorry. I made a mistake. I apologize for that. Boy, I don't know. Well, at least it wasn't like I gave something away ahead of time and then said, "Oops, sorry." Or like the guy said, there was a radio station that I just got a message. I want to let you know, and not on the air trying to chastise anybody, but they said the live stream is down. I don't know what's wrong. We have to get the hamster on the treadmill. Nobody's fault. But yeah, it's not like
well, they're lying because the live stream is working.
Oh, okay,
so
good.
Whoever you are, you might want to reboot your web browser.
Yeah, reboot that.
Try that because
there you go.
It's working on our end here. So
good deal.
Whoever's telling us that, thanks, but it works. So
okay. All right. Yeah, you know there was I think it was a radio station that had said they were going to give, or no, it was a restaurant said they were going to give to one of their waitresses or hostesses or servers a free Toyota by doing something and maybe having the highest sales, and so the lady got the highest sales, and they gave her a toy Yoda. They gave her a toy Yoda. That's what they did. Long story short, after the court ordered the restaurant to give the lady a new Toyota vehicle. Yeah, so at least we didn't do anything like that. All right, here we go. All right, everybody get ready. Let's get the third caller. Third caller for the tickets, 618-993-8102. Third caller at 618-993-8102. Third caller, 618-993-8102. Two tickets. Boy, I wish I could talk. 2 tickets to Cardinals versus Cubs, July 29th. And it's Sunday, July 29th. Cardinals versus Cubs. courtesy of Marion Rotary International. Thank you so much, Marion Rotary, for doing this. Chuck and all of them down there at the Rotary Club in Marion. Thank you so much for thinking of me. We'll take third caller, and right here at the station for the tickets for tomorrow's Cardinals versus Cubs game. That's right. So we're getting the phones ringing. The phone's over there ringing, and usually what happens is we wait for the third caller and comes in, and we'll see what happens here. And Cubs fans and White Sox fans are also eligible to call in, and everybody's eligible. I shouldn't say just right here. So Brian's taking a call. I see him on there. This is exciting, isn't it? I see him on here, and he's getting calls. It's blinking all over the place. Oh my gosh! Oh, the humanity! Oh, the humanity! Seeing all the calls going on right now. So let's see.
We have our winner.
All right, and they're on the air. Who have we got here? Hello, caller. Caller. Hello,
Robbie.
Hello, Robbie.
Wait, hang on a second here.
Okay. Okay, sorry. This is live radio. That's
Robbie,
fine.
if you're listening, please call us back.
Yes, Robbie, if you're listening, please call us back. You were the third caller, and so isn't this exciting? What? I'm going to buy some lottery tickets. How exciting is this? Okay. All right. This is live radio, and okay, got it. You got them right now? No, what? Okay, we're still getting calls. Okay, we got a winner. We have a winner. We have a winner. Thank you for calling, and we're going to do some more stuff coming up in some future shows. But this is really neat because the fact that we're giving away these tickets, and that's really cool. Really, really cool. So anyhow, all right, we got that, and apparently they don't want to be on the air. Okay, I guess that's okay. That's all right. We do know that they did. Okay, we know that's. Are they not wanting to be on the air? Is that what it is, Brian? I think that's what it is. So a lot of people think they're gonna, just because millions of people are listening right now. My gosh, do I really think millions of people are listening right now? Do I really think that? No, I don't. Okay, maybe hundreds of thousands of people listening.
The winner's going to get in touch with you after the program.
Oh, okay.
Robbie's her name.
Okay, as long as you got the name and everything, that's cool. Didn't want to be on the air, huh?
No.
Oh.
Sorry things were a little crazy, folks, but everything's good now.
Okay, and phone was just ringing and ringing. So that's really good. Thank you for everybody for calling. And we're going to do this again because somewhere down the line, I have some, I believe I've got 2 Six Flags tickets still. So we'll try to do that in a future show, too. And, yeah, so that'll be pretty cool. And Six Flags. But we gave away those tickets. Thank you again, Marion Rotary, for doing that. We do appreciate it. And so thank you again. Cardinals versus Cubs. That's right. That's right. Okay, let's talk about some shows going on. Now, I want to talk about some of you know that what I do in my I call it a hobby is I restore old police cars. And you say, well, are there any shows for that? Yes, there are. And it's coming up next weekend. And that next weekend. The Chicagoland Emergency Vehicle Show is a big that goes on once a year, and it's up in the Aurora, Oswego, Northern Illinois area. And it's hundreds of police cars, fire trucks, ambulances, emergency vehicles that people have restored. And yes, that is something. That is something that's done. I know we talk about tractors and we talk about cars and we talk about things like that, but people actually restore old police cars also. And it's going to be happening next weekend in Oswego, Illinois. Oswego, Illinois. They'll be having the Chicagoland Emergency Vehicle Show. And so I hope for a great turnout. Some of these things that are out of the area are worth a trip. They really are. I know that we take trips to Louisville, we take trips to Nashville, and we do that for different shows. Good Guys and what else is there? Oh, I know there's coming up is also the Tri-5 Nationals is happening, 55, 56, 57. I found out it's Chevys. Yeah. I was going to get a 57 Ford, but I was told, hey, no way, Jose, was I getting that car in there because it's a Ford. What the heck? I think that's I'm insulted. I really am. But that's coming up, Tri-5 Nationals, and that's going to be happening also. And so we make trips all over the place. Again, St. Louis is having the All Ford show. That's coming up. That's pretty cool. So if you've got a Ford, and it's all Ford, I mean all Ford. Some people have this habit of sticking. Why I don't know, but some people have the habit of sticking Chevy engines in Fords. And right now, somebody just said that's so we can get them to run right. No, come on. No. But this is going to happen Sunday, July 29th. And it's going to be at the J.S. McDonald Park. All Ford Car Show. Registration is $20. Registration is 8 a.m. till noon. So, it's pretty cool. They have all Fords. They have all Chevys, all Mopars, imports. And we don't talk enough about imports. I'm telling you right now, a lot of the younger generation, they're into imports. And guys and gals, we talk about not wanting to see our hobby, see the future of the automobile hobby falter and fall away. You know what? We've got to embrace the younger folks with they've got their imports and the tuners and all those things. We need to embrace that and welcome them into the car hobby. We really do. Really do. And I know a lot of you do, but some of you still are kind of like, oh, no, I don't want that. I don't want that car near me. It's a Honda or something. You know what? They're cool cars, too. Yes, they are. They're cool cars, too. So just grab it, brace it. Hug an import driver today. Hug an import driver today. There you go. How about that? I like customs. And I'm going to mention this show, too. This is coming up Sunday. Next Sunday, August. Yes, next Sunday, August 5th in Elk Grove Village, Illinois. Now, if you ever want to see, and you see, some of your friends, and you go to car shows, they're not real prevalent in this area, but you'll see a lot of times, you'll see some old Mercuries that are custom. Or you'll see something along those lines. They call them lead sleds a lot of times because they had a lot of lead slapped into them for the custom looks. But maybe as a kid you're into customs and you haven't seen them very much anymore. They're around. They're alive. They're going around. They're alive and well. And one of the top customizers in I'm going to say this in the nation, if not all over, top customizer, great guy. Got a great shop, and that's, again, Voodoo Larry. And it's going to be in Elk Grove Village next August. Next month. August 5th. God. Wow. Next month, August 5th, will be Voodoo Larry's open house in Elk Grove Village, Illinois. And it starts around 10 o'clock. Runs to about 4. And it's a good show. You get to go in there, see his shop, see all the cool custom cars he's working on, chopping tops, doing all kinds of work, building things from the frame up. And we do that around here, too. I know that. But these are custom cars that he's building. And he's also has the honor of helping restore a top custom car from the 50s, and that's the Golden Sahara. This is the Golden Sahara. This was built by George Barris. And it was in the hands of a local private collector who sadly passed away last year. The vehicle came up for auction. A gentleman in the Chicago area bought it, has it in his museum, which is open. It's the Claremont Museum. It is open, and he wants it restored, wants it worked on, and he has chosen Voodoo Larry to do the work there. So, and the reason is this is a labor of love, is the fact that Larry has built his own version, what he calls his own version of the Golden Sahara, and that's the Voodoo Sahara, and it is up there right next to the Golden Sahara. How about that? But if you want to see some of these custom cars, and they are cool, they really are some cool custom cars, he's got his open house going on next Sunday, August 5th. So check that out. It's in Elk Grove Village. It's about 5.5 hours. You take some interstates. You take some tollways, you do some stuff like that, and you get there. You get there. Elk Grove Village. Just look it up. I don't have MapQuest right in front of me. Remember MapQuest? Or how about an atlas? Yeah, one of those atlases we used to get every year because the roads changed. Wow. Can you even buy those anymore? Can you? Or the road maps you'd get at the gas station? Oh, there we go. Down memory lane. I better stop right now. Yeah, better stop right now. I'll start talking about all the old things that used to go on when I was a kid. Oh, the road maps and all that. Yeah, I'll stop. August 4th. August 4th. There are cruise-ins and shows that are almost like institutions, where sometimes I belong. But there are cruise-ins and shows, and one of them is the Murfreesboro Cruise-In. It's been going on for so many years. It's such a good time. The original folks kind of passed it along, passed the torch to some younger folks, and they just picked it up and said, we got it, and they're running with it. And they're going to come up August 4th. It's going to be a good show, and they have so many things. There's a different theme every month, and of course it's happening August 4th at Murfreesboro, Illinois. Music by Pamela Louie, Hot Rod Nights. So that'll be happening August 4th. August 11th in Goreville, I don't want you to forget this, will be the Celine Masonic Lodge Car and Truck Show. Registration begins at 8 a.m. Judging begins at 11. Awards at 1:30. They're having dash plaques, top 25, specialty awards, all kinds of things going on there. And that music is by the Big Elvis Rock and Roll Show. There you go. So many things going on in the area. There are so many shows. September 3rd. I want to mention this one because it's a big show, and I want to get everybody out here to everywhere. And that's the Memory Lane Auto Fest show happening September 3rd. It's a Monday, held at Saline County Fairgrounds because it's Labor. Hey, it's Labor Day, so so that'll be happening at Saline County Fairgrounds. Registration is 9 a.m. till 12. Registration fee is $15. They're going to do this kind of like a cruise-in type thing. You don't have to. You're not getting judged. They will have some specialty awards, and they're having the band Repeat Offenders. And again, Big Elvis will be there doing some music also. So that's going to be happening September 3rd in Saline County, Harrisburg, at the Saline County Fairgrounds. How about that? How about that? And while we're on the subject of car shows and car events, I want to mention that I found and thank you to the person who sent me a message, because if you're an administrator of a web page, it doesn't always show up. But there's a little bit of a hiccup with my web page, sicarnews.com, and I'm going to get that corrected as soon as I can. But there is a little hiccup with the show page. So, yeah. So, whoops. Yeah, hate that. I really do. But, anyhow, there's other places that you can go. Let me tell you where to go. There's other places you can go. You can go to hotrodnights.net. You can go to classicpony.com. You can go to Big Elvis Rock and Roll Show Facebook page. He posts shows, and as does Pam and Louie, and as does Classic Pony. There's all different places that you can find car show events. You can probably, if you go to a car show, you can probably find a half dozen in the seat of your car if you leave your window down, because that's the way it used to be done. And it's still done that way. You'll see people walking around just dropping those flyers into the car seat and hoping that you'll make their show. So that's pretty cool. It really is. And again, I want to apologize for that little bit of mix-up. Boy, oh boy. I don't know. It's really a mess. I want to say also, too, I know that he'll be back pretty soon, but best of luck and Godspeed to Tim Petrovich. He's in Haiti, and he's doing some fantastic work in Haiti right now. So we do thank.
Yeah, and speaking of that music, he's going to have a special Dateline show next Saturday.
Is he?
It's going to be originated out of Haiti. He's going to have I don't remember the guy's name, but he's going to have somebody on there who's actually the field coordinator for their Equipping Haiti.
Really?
You're going to get a real-life perspective of what life is like down there in Haiti right now. Wow. So next Saturday on Dateline at 8:06.
Okay, Dateline Marion. That's cool. That's cool. It really is. Okay, we've got more things coming up, and I want to mention, too, I won't mention the person's name because they may not want their name mentioned, but when I do go to car shows, I appreciate feedback. I really do. And I'm just touching these buttons on the board. I'm not actually messing with them, Brian, so don't tell Forrest I'm messing with the buttons. I actually just touched them. But I do appreciate feedback.
Well, the buttons are fine, what you touched. So
okay. All right.
You're fine. You're fine.
I know there's one here.
They're okay buttons.
It says photon torpedoes, and this one says something about tractor beam.
I think you're touching a module that we switched out this week. But anyway,
okay.
but it's okay.
Okay. But I do take feedback, and I appreciate it. I appreciate constructive criticism. And I had a gentleman come to me at a car show a couple weeks ago and mention some things that he would like to see on the show. I'm all about that. This is your show. Less Chris Hahn talking and more interviews. And we do. And if you've got a car show or car event or something that you wanted to talk about on the World Wide Web and here on the radio, that's what I'm about. So just get a hold of me. You can call here at the station, and if there's somebody if during regular hours there might be somebody here, sometimes they're out, sometimes they're busy. We've got a machine that picks it up. Just leave a message, or you get a hold of me at my Facebook page. I have a Facebook page. Just get a hold of me there. People have done that, and also I have a page or a group that's SI Car News Radio Show. So any of those ways. So just get a hold of me. Hey, I want to talk about my show, or I want to do something like that. That's what we're about. That's what we're all about. That's whether it's Big Elvis or Hot Rod Nights or who it may be. That's what we're about. We're about talking about car shows and car events and getting the word out. And here we are, right up on August. Right up here on August. And, it's going to be September, October, and car show season will be finished again. Be done for another year. I just think it goes by pretty fast. I don't know. Maybe it's the older I get, the faster it goes. I'm not sure. But that's, exactly how it goes. So I want to mention also the fact that we do have, I want to brag on the station here a little bit, we do have White Sox baseball. And I don't know if we're carrying. Do we carry White Sox baseball through the? I shouldn't do this. I'm sorry because I.
What is it?
I do have friends that are White Sox fans, but do they carry it through the postseason?
Well, if they make the postseason, which is a long shot, but.
Well, see, I'm glad you said that, but I wasn't going to.
We would have it. We would be broadcasting it if they made the postseason, which I don't think is going to happen.
I'm not judging because, I'm a Cub fan, so I know how that can go, how you can have all of a sudden a tremendous year and all of a sudden end up with a dumpster fire. So, I won't say that. But, we got the White Sox here on WGGH, and we also soon will have the St. Louis Blues hockey. So,
and we're hoping to carry a couple preseason games, but we don't have the information quite in place yet to have an idea when we might be able to carry a game, but we're hoping sometime in September, hopefully on the night when the White Sox are either off or have a day game.
Cool.
That's our hope.
Yeah. So,
in high school football, 3 weeks from, actually it'll be 4 weeks from today is the start of Marion Wildcat football. So it's here.
Wow. That's right, school. It's
hard to believe.
I've been out of school for a number of years. But, I still kind of get, when I see I'll drive through an area where they got school, last day of school is, May such and such. I still get that kind of like, cool. Hey, school's almost over with. I still get that. And then when I see, they'll have, in fact, I think our school did this in Polk County. I think almost like the next day after it was out for a vacation, they put on there like school starts August 10th or something like that. And I'm like, really? You're going to post that right after that? That even gets me down. It's
hard to believe.
Yeah. I mean, like, how long you been out of school now, Brian?
13 years.
13 years.
I still get excited for the start of football season. I'll admit, I still get excited.
Okay.
Saturday, August 25th is when Marion opens up the season against Rochelle at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So just 4 weeks from today. And we're also going to bring you, this year we're going to do all the Marion Wildcat football games like we always do. But also we're going to bring you action from Johnston City this year. Jimmy Dean, we're very happy to announce, is going to bring you all the games from Johnston City. Most of them will be aired on a next day broadcast delay at usually 11 o'clock in the morning. But Friday night, August 24th, we're going to carry Johnston City's season opener at Fairfield live due to Marion playing on Saturday afternoon the 25th. So,
wow.
High school football just a few weeks away right here on 98.5 FM and 1150 AM. It is hard to believe.
That's right. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable what's happening. And there has been some something else, too, if you've tuned in early, and I hope you have. Starting around 7 o'clock in Saturday mornings, they showcase local artists.
Yeah, and we had a little bit of a technical issue this morning for those who were trying to listen to that show, and we do apologize. I'm not sure. I think the computer apparently thought the day of the week was Sunday, and it was playing religious broadcasting. So when I got out of breakfast, and I literally took off quick out here to try to fix the problem. But hopefully this won't happen in the future. But again, the local music show, we're starting to get some more music coming in for that show, and I think the show's going to take off pretty quickly if we we get more artists. Go to WGGH.net. There's a form on there you fill out, and with all your information, we have to ask that it's clean and radio friendly, and if it is, we will do our best to get it on the show every Saturday starting at 7:05.
Cool.
And then after that, of course, we mentioned it, but Dateline Marion, the radio program, Tim will be originating it from Haiti next week, talking with the field coordinator of Equipping Haiti, who lives down there on a regular basis. You'll get a first-hand idea, as I said earlier, about life in Haiti.
That's right. And it's nothing wrong.
And David Lawler.
David Lawler came up, and I've got David. I think I've got David convinced. Some of you guys and gals out there, we're looking around the $15,000 price range on a hobby car, and when I'm talking about, something, I've got him interested. I've got him interested in one of those. He's a young guy. And so we get somebody else in the hobby here. Wouldn't that be cool?
So you like the truck he's got, the GMC Canyon?
See that, and there's going to be a lot of people now upset at me. But when I talk about Priuses, I don't know. It's just Priuses just don't do a thing for me. And we were kidding with him the other day. In fact, we had some people here from Insufficient Funds Club. Thank you. We're here.
And that was good stuff when we got him.
Yeah, and we were kind of kidding him a little bit about his Prius, but he's got he moved up to a pickup truck, so that's a good start. It really is. So yeah, we're moving these. That's how we do it. We get people moved into and just starting out pickups and I know everybody's saying, the environment. Okay, all right. We won't even get into that. We don't have a show long enough to talk about all that stuff. So, yeah, that's, but anyhow, I just, just trying to do my part to get, younger folks involved in, the hobby, and the lifestyle. It's not just a hobby, it's a lifestyle. It really is. It's something that, I think you get as a young age, and does start out with, at least it did with me, it actually started out with Matchbox cars. Yeah, started out Matchbox because there wasn't Hot Wheels around when I was a kid until I got older. They just had their 50th anniversary. They're having their 50th anniversary of Hot Wheels. So I was already 10 years old. So we started out with Matchbox cars. That's right, and we would play with those. And there was no track. Are you folks listening to this? There was no track. You didn't put these Matchbox cars on track. We just ran them on the carpet or across the concrete. No cool orange Hot Wheels track. Do you realize how deprived I was as a young child? None of that? Oh my gosh, yes. Now, I did have the standard, always required, Aurora slot car track. I did have that with the slot cars. So I was good to go there. But, yeah, no Hot Wheels until I was 10 years old. And then we get the track, which, by the way, I was fortunate enough. Yes, I was spanked as a child, but I was never spanked with the orange Hot Wheels track. But wow, that leaves a whelp. I had some of my friends. They'd get smacked with that orange track. Whap, man, that hurts. Yeah, because we smack each other. Goofing around, kids. Kids. Yeah. Anyhow. Anyway, thanks again to the individual that won the tickets, the shy person.
Robbie's her name.
Robbie's her name, okay. Shy person who won the tickets. And I will get the information after the show. Thanks to the Marion Rotary Club, Chuck and everybody. Thank you so much for your kind thoughts. And everybody that called, I do appreciate that. I really, really do. We're working on some interviews. We're working on some people to talk to.
Should we mention that next week will likely be a pre-recorded show?
That's fine.
We probably need to mention that, you told me earlier.
Yes, so don't call in next
week. So next week we'll be on tape. I'll probably already be out of here at this time next Saturday, so just a heads up for our audience.
And just, again, another heads up that I want to mention is the fact that I do, as far as I know, boy, going out on a limb again, but as far as I know, there's some Six Flags tickets to give away still, too. Some of you that like Six Flags. Yeah, Six Flags St. Louis. So that'll be coming up also. Just all kinds of things. Giving away all kinds of things. Having all kinds of fun. I hope everybody enjoys the weekend because it looks like it, maybe a little chance of rain, but it's staying cooler out and things along those lines. Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun weekend. All Ford Show Sunday, tomorrow. Check it out, St. Louis. It's going to be good. It really is. Hey, everybody. Thanks again for listening. I appreciate it. Don't forget to take a kid to a car show. They are our future. They'll enjoy it. Thanks.
And baby, I love you. Beep, 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 yeah. Baby, you can drive my car. Yes, I'm gonna be a star. Baby, you can drive my car. And baby, I love you.
The views and opinions of the hosts are not necessarily those of the ownership or management of this station. More information on program schedules are available at WGGH.net.
Welcome to Dare to Care. This is your host for today's show, Dr. Elaine Jerkowski. And I'm really happy to be back. Recently, we talked about suicide on one of our shows, and we talked about some of the signs and symptoms of mental illness with a dear old
Not so
host, previous host of our show, Chris Corzine McCluskey. Is that right? It's
good.
like it's a mouthful for me.
It is. It takes up 2 lines on my driver's
license.
license.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I'm very happy to have Chris back with us on our show today. And Chris, I thought, would do us a little bit of favor by expanding on some of what we talked about in our show related to suicide and mental illness by helping us understand some more specifics about different types of mental illness or mental disorders, if you will. So first of all, welcome to our show, Chris.
Thank you. Thank you.
And just remind me and our listening audience about some of your training and background.
Okay, I am a licensed clinical social worker in the mental health field. I'm agency director of Caring Counseling Ministries, also a therapist there. I've been there for the past 10 years. So
10 years. It's hard for me to believe that you were just a intern 10 years ago.
And ironically, Dare to Care, the name of this program came from, that was Kent Maddox's baby, Caring Counseling Ministries. So Dare to Care, Caring Counseling Ministries. So he was the host first, then he handed it to me, and then I passed it on to you, and you are now still rocking that baby.
Yes, 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 yes.
Yeah.
Rocking it.
It's a lot more fun to be a guest than it was to host the show all the time, so I'm glad it's yours now.
Wow. Well, thank you. I have fun with it, and I love it. So thank you for sharing that opportunity with me. So now knowing that you are a therapist and that you work with people with a variety of types of mental illness, I thought it would be really fitting for today if we could talk about some of those different types of mental illness with our listening audience. So, for example, depression, anxiety, maybe schizophrenia, because there are signs and symptoms of schizophrenia and we have all kinds of myths about it. Post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD. Some people think that's only relegated to folks that have been in the war, but I think all of us experience stress in some way, and post-traumatic stress. I know I have my own PTSD related to dogs because of...
And ironically, I have a dog with PTSD related to humans. I got her from the pound.
Oh, my goodness.
She's got her own little case.
Well, maybe she and I should get together. And OCD, which is another one that's common, obsessive-compulsive disorder.
Very common, and bipolar disorder, which in my opinion is currently way overdiagnosed, but also hitting the issue that we should talk about. Probably the least common thing that we would ever see would be schizophrenia. That's actually falling along the rare.
Is that right?
Yeah. You know, maybe it's an occupational hazard because we don't have a doctor on staff, so we don't prescribe medication when at work. But we don't have that many